Hello friends, Dr. Nels here, coming to you this week, and we're doing this off the cuff like we do a lot of times with some preparation. We have a list of contents and ideas, but we're following up from last week's boundaries discussion and video, boundaries part 2, because my dear friend Kale, Pastor Kale, here recording for us and behind the camera, he had a follow-up question from last week's vlog, and so we're going to hit on that one. So I'm going to let him tell his question, ask his question.
So I'll try to keep it short. Understand that you're in charge of people. You're a boss here. You're an owner here at the clinic.
Leader,
Yeah,
not a boss.
understood.
Coach. Oh, there's bosses.
Yeah, I get it. But you also have people that have personal lives outside of their work. How do you balance the accountability or the boundaries in their personal lives while still, like, how do you navigate those arenas? Being a leader, coach, boss, but seeing something in their personal life that needs to be addressed. How do you navigate those arenas?
Well, there's several parts to this. The first part, number one, is the way I lead and coach, and it's opposite of most, especially in government, academic, a lot of business settings. Personal and work is two separate things and totally separated. And I get it, and they need to be. We coach for that. We want you to come to work, enjoy what you do, leave your troubles at home. But I would tell you, personal and work collides when someone comes to you and tells you they have cancer. Personal and work collides when someone comes to you and says, I'm getting a divorce. Personal and work collides when someone comes to you and says they're having trouble paying their bills. And so I get it all, but I care for these people. We love our people. As leaders, we should love our people. When people come to you with that sort of information and other information that's very personal, it's our job to help. It's our job to lead and coach and guide them and give them wisdom. And so those things collide. Now, that's the basis for my personal judgment and work. We keep them separate, but those worlds collide, and you've got to get past that those things aren't separate, because when those things happen, they collide. But then on an everyday basis, if you get past that and you truly love your people, then it's a different story. And so I was speaking in Rochester, Minnesota in July, and I had this, and I'm 50+% German, so I'm a hard-nosed German myself. I mean, hugging was weird to me until a mentor named Dr. Doug Ford taught me how to hug, because his son died in a plane crash and he just wanted one more hug, and that's another story. But we love our people here, and we tell them we love them. You can ask every single person here in text, group me, whatever. We love our people. And had a gentleman there basically asking some of these same things, because the way I coach and the way I lead, it's maybe not normal. Because we love our people, and they know we love our people. So when they know you love them, it changes the conversation and the ability to talk to your people about their personal life and what they're doing great at and what they're struggling with. If they didn't know that I loved them, then they would be over here and not probably want me to visit with them about those things, or Dr. Ty to visit with them about those things. But we're different here, where they know we love them. That opens their heart and soul and mind to conversations that most leaders can't have, because like this gentleman in Rochester, Minnesota asked me, I don't think you should tell your people you love them. And how do you do that? And so he said he didn't think so, but then he asked me, how do you do that? And I was reading, I'm like, no, I think he'd like to, he just doesn't know how to do this. And the reason, and most of us don't know how to do this, but you don't just all of a sudden start telling your people, I love you, whatever it is. They're gonna be like, who's this weirdo, right? But it just starts an everyday conversation, showing them that you love them through action. You don't have to tell them you love them, but are you talking to them? Do you show them that you give a shit about them? When you walk in every day, are you talking to them, or do you just ignore them and blow past them? Do you tell them hello? Do you ask them, hey, how's your family? What'd you do this weekend? How was your weekend? Are you talking to your people about normal everyday things in life that shows that you care about them? and not in just a superficial manner, talking to them. And when you do that, they begin to know that you love them. Then when you actually tell them you love them, it's not weird. Now, what I would tell you to do, if you want to set upon this journey to where this happens, then just let them know that we're going to do some things different here, and I might say that I love you. It's going to be a little weird first time I do that, but I'm just letting you know. I'm changing my leadership style, and I want you to know that I deeply care for you. We deeply love you, and not in a weird way. We love you for who you are. We love you as a person. We love you as a brother. We love you as a sister. We love you as a person because we want what's best for you outside of these walls. We want you to be the best version of yourself outside of these walls. And in order for us to truly want that, we have to love them. And so there is a boundary there, but you need to have a degree of emotional intelligence, and some people need to work on that. Maybe some people are too transactional. They're too black and white. And the world we live in is really, really gray. Or maybe that's me. Maybe I just live in the gray world, but I'm not a black and white. There are core foundational things that we're very black and white in, and that does come in the form of some of these boundaries. But then in between there's this gray world, and that is a wide world that you have to be able to navigate to build deep and abiding and caring and loving relationships with other people, so that when you do set upon some of these conversations, setting boundaries for them at work at a bare minimum, that's where you can play in that arena. But if you truly want what's best for them to be the best version of themselves, it's going to involve their personal life. And there's no way around it, in my opinion. And that's how we do things. We're not always right. We get a lot of things wrong, but failure creates great opportunities and learning experiences for us. And so did I answer your question?
You did.
So that's what we have. The gentleman in Rochester, Minnesota, maybe he's tuned into this. I don't know what he's done since then. Because you can tell your people you love them. That's not against HR rules, unless you love them in a way you should not be loving them. That is. If it's lustful, that is, and that's a sin. But if you truly love your people and care for them deeply so they can be the best version of themselves outside of these walls, you're not violating any HR rules. You're simply being an incredible human being. Sometimes that involves creating some boundaries for them that they don't quite understand yet, have the mental capacity or the wisdom, and you need to help them with those things. It's your opportunity. You can do that. If you got any questions, feel free to reach out. We'd be glad to help you. We're here to help. We're here to serve. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this content, click subscribe here. We'll see you next week.